In the previous episode, we saw how Kyung evolved after sucking the queen bee's special juice. Meanwhile, Theo had already sold the mutant pumpkin to Dongshik without Seo Jun noticing. On the other hand, while returning, Theo, using his observation haki, sensed a legendary ring. But as he was about to grab that, along comes a little hamster who also wanted that ring. Theo straight away started to argue with her, and she was ready to blow Theo into pieces. Just then, the chief recognized the hamster. She was the Great Sage, the destroyer, who could make rivers into oceans and lift mountains instantly. As she was about to kill Theo, the chief revealed they are the subordinates of the Great Black Dragon. The hamster calmed down, as her dream was to meet the Great Black Dragon. But there was no one in the entire tower who knew where they lived. So, she demanded to be taken to the Great Black Dragon. Only then would she spare their lives. But Theo, on the other hand, got annoyed hearing this and asked why he would bring that hamster with him for free. And the chief, well, his soul was slowly leaving his body seeing Theo arguing and talking this boldly. What if the hamster got angry and decided to kill everyone? But well, we all know how Theo is. He continued to stand all annoyed, still staring toward the hamster. And once again, Theo started commanding very arrogantly that if the hamster wants him to take her to the Great Black Dragon, she'd have to pay the price. Meanwhile, the chief was just about to pee his pants, praying. He didn't want to die like a nobody without even having a girlfriend, just like you, all in me. And the hamster? Well, she wasn't mad, but at first she giggled a bit. Then she burst into laughter and continued to laugh until tears came out of her eye. She couldn't believe how confident Theo was in front of her. Other people just ran away seeing her from miles away, and here, this little cat was arguing with her. It was the first time in a decade that anyone entertained her this much. She started to like the eyes of Theo that didn't waver even one bit in front of her presence. Then, she asked Theo what he wanted from her as payment and introduced herself, saying her name is Iona. And today's like goal is 4,000 likes. I know y'all can smash that easily, and write next incher in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to support me making these videos. Now, let's continue. Theo, remaining in his confident body language, explained to her that, as she saw, he was in the middle of buying something to give to the Black Dragon when she came and ruined it. Iona asked if Theo, by chance, was talking about that golden ring. Was Theo planning to give that ring to the Black Dragon? And if he was, then she would buy it first and give it to Theo for free, and asked if that would work as a payment. And if that wouldn't be enough, Iona asked Theo if he needed anything else, saying she would buy it for him. Well, for Iona, if she could really meet the Great Black Dragon, she didn't care how much she had to pay. Everything was worth it. No one ever met those legendary figures. And here was a dumb cat in front of her claiming to be the subordinate of the Black Dragon. On the other hand, Theo was just damn happy and extremely lucky that he caught a pushover like her. Now he could buy everything that he wanted to buy for Seo Jun, and all for free, without using his personal money. After a while, we see Theo once again in the black market, where he also got the straw hat. There, he first noticed something weird, a cockroach ball in a glass jar, and bought 100 of those bottles. After that, with an extremely happy face, while singing and dancing, he chose 3 more straw hats, which looked very ordinary, but we all know anything Theo buys turns out to be either unique or legendary items. Then, with respect, Theo gave one cowboy straw hat to the chef, saying he sees how hardworking the chef is, and this is a gift for him. The chef was taken aback by this kindness. At first, he thanked Theo from the bottom of his heart, and tried to say he didn't need it as it wouldn't fit him. But Theo insisted he take it and give it to his son, saying he knows his son will love it very much, and immediately left to check the other hats. On the other hand, Iona, just confused seeing all the items Theo is picking as trash, asked him if he didn't say he was going to buy things that the Black Dragon might need. So why is he buying these cheap products? But Theo replied, "Just shut up and watch a professional buy stuff. All she have to do is pay the price," and continued to check the items, leaving Iona bewildered. At this point, she was really getting angry. Theo was crossing the limit. But she was only controlling her anger because Theo claimed he was the great black dragon's subordinate. She swore if Theo was lying, she would make so many holes in Theo's body that he would forget where to breathe and where to fart. But just in the middle of her little self-talk, Theo casually came with a hat that a sage magician wears, placed it onto Iona's head, and politely commented that he thinks this will suit her really well, and that Iona would look great with this hat. Well, this was enough to melt Iona's This was enough to melt Iona's heart. It was the first time in years that anyone had talked with her on equal footing, let alone tried to flirt with her. Her heart started to beat really fast, but she controlled her emotion and acted like it was not a big deal. Thanked Theo and said she has many hats like this at her home. She was barely able to hide her blushing face, and Theo didn't give a damn. Remember, after his first breakup, Theo is a Giga Chad now. He was just in a hurry and commanded Iona to hurry up and pay for everything he bought, or they would get late, which once again made Iona annoyed and angry. Theo, on the other hand, was just enjoying the day of getting free items. He continued to sing and was very happy because he got an item for free, and Iona, still annoyed, asked the shopkeeper how much the bill was. The shopkeeper, after calculating, said it was 20 tower coin. Well, for Iona, that was a very low amount, and she casually took out the tower coins and was about to hand the money to the shopkeeper. Theo, observing all this from the back, had his inner merchant kick in. All of Seo Jun's teaching activated. He went into Asian mom mode, and just before Iona handed over the tower coins, Theo stepped between them. While raising his hand, he started to shout, wanting a discount, startling both the shopkeeper and Iona. Now, as Theo was in his Asian mom mode, even Iona was feeling pressured as Theo came close to her and started to scold her. Theo asked how Iona could just give what the shopkeeper was asking. Was Iona thinking of buying everything without any discount? She couldn't do that. Even the shopkeeper felt the Asian mom's aura and, feeling intimidated, lowered the price from 20 to 18 tower coin. But Theo was not satisfied at all, and once again started to shout, asking if the shopkeeper thought he was a pushover and that the discount was too low. He wanted more discount. The scared shopkeeper lowered the price to 17 tower coin. But nope, Theo wanted a thick discount. Just like that, Theo managed to get a 50% discount and bought everything for 10 tower coin. Then, as our boys were on their way to the 99th floor, the Silver Wolves were carrying all the items and Theo was leading the way, and Iona was following Theo. Theo turned back and then thanked Iona for buying this hat for him and all the other items. Iona, with a polite tone, replied that it was nothing. She could do more than this if it was for the great black dragon. Meanwhile, inside, Iona was a little puzzled. She was unable to understand Theo's thought process. She thought Theo would ask for something grand, some legendary or unique item, but he only asked her to buy some cheap, lowly garbage items, and on top of that, he even asked for a discount so that she would save her money. She was like, "What's the deal with this cat?" Then, after a while, curious, Iona asked Theo where they were going. "Where is the black dragon?" Theo replied they were heading to the 99th floor, where she would be able to meet the big black dragon. This confused Iona. She thought they were heading toward the admin space, which connects every part of the tower. She confirmed again that they were going to the 99th floor. Not the admin space? Theo replied with a bright smile that yes, they were going to the 99th floor, and there she would definitely be able to meet the big black She would definitely be able to meet the big black dragon and asked Iona to just shut up and follow him quietly. Well, although Iona had her doubts, what could she do? She decided to follow Theo quietly. On the other hand, up on the 38th floor, Dongshik and his crew were just smashing those white sticky spiders from all directions, not leaving any part untouched and not even breaking a sweat, all because of Seo Jun's green detoxifying leaves. They'd already wiped out all the minions, and in front of them was lying the boss. Dongshik dealt the final blow while chewing on Seo Jun's grass, and bam! Just like that, they cleared the 38th floor without a single casualty. Everyone was extremely happy. They started to celebrate and were thanking Seo Jun for producing such a legendary item. Without it, it would have been impossible to clear it. After that, It was time to head to the 39th floor. So, with Dongshik's command, all the crew started heading to the waypoint to the 39th floor, ready to face a new challenge, determination etched on their faces to also clear the 39th floor. On the other hand, on the first floor of the tower where Mr. Trump built his little farm to also grow Seo Jun's tomatoes, he received the news that the Phoenix Guild raided the 38th floor. He couldn't believe how they could raid and kill the boss so quickly when the whole floor was crawling with poisonous spider. His subordinate then explained the entire situation, mentioning there was news about a new crop, also grown by Seo Jun, called the detoxifying green onion, which has poison resistance ability. It seems like the Phoenix Guild's raiding speed increased due to that item. Mr. Trump, after hearing this, couldn't hold his anger. He started banging his hands on the floor, really frustrated that he couldn't even germinate a single E-rank cherry tomato, no matter how much money and effort he was pouring in. And now there's a new type of crop in the market. Well, what can he do? After calming down a bit with a sad face, he started to mumble that they can no longer stay silent about his failure and have to tell the board members that he failed miserably in the new project, and he knows this will greatly impact his power and reputation. But he just needed any sort of result, anything would work, but those cherry tomatoes are not even germinating. He was really frustrated when the scientist, banging on the door, shouting, came inside shouting Trump's name, saying to come with her. She had a very urgent matter she wanted to show Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump immediately followed her and got bewildered, seeing what was in front of him. There was a moving cherry tomato plant. All the petals of the flower became some mouth-like creature with razor-sharp teeth. Mr. Trump was confused. He questioned whether this was a cherry tomato plant, and she explained that it seems like some sort of mutation occurred due to the growth promoter. This confused Trump. He asked why she hadn't discarded this a long time ago, so why did she let it be? Mr. Trump, curious, crouched and grabbed the mutant cherry tomato group, and the plant, looking like a monster, tried to attack him. Mr. Trump took a step back, questioning, "This doesn't look like a crop but an actual living being." While saying this, he cut the crop in half, and as soon as he did, the system notified him that he killed a contaminated cherry tomato, and he gained 27 XP points. This shocked him to his core. The info that he could gain XP points by cutting the crops was huge. She continued to explain that she thinks the crop mutated and became a monster due to the influence of the tower. And now, instead of water and nutrients like any normal plants, this contaminated crop needs to eat flesh like bugs and small monsters to continue being alive and growing. As she was explaining, Mr. Trump was in his own deep thinking. She continued to explain that all thanks to this contaminated crop, she was able to enter the tower and level up easily without any danger and grow stronger. And now that she is strong, she can roam freely, see the result of her research and experiments, and also perform more experiments freely. Lastly, for some unknown reason, these mutant crops somehow are able to reproduce themselves and grow in number on their own. She is still studying how they are able to do this. While she was giving all this information, Mr. Trump was in his own little deep thinking. He had a great plan in mind, and with a wicked smile, he whispered, this was the opportunity he was waiting for. He stood up, and with an excited face, he commanded to discard all the existing crops and start replacing them with the contaminated cherry tomatoes. If he can't cultivate magical cherry tomatoes, he can cultivate something else, he announced. With a wicked smile, and while crushing the mutant cherry plant, he announced he will be making the world's first exp farm, which will take the world by storm, and he knows this will be a banger business. Meanwhile, on the 99th floor, Seo Jun was sitting beside the cocoon of the new queen honeybee, which was just about to hatch, and he was cheering for her to hatch safely. After some tough little pushes, the cocoon finally started to break, and bright light started to emit from inside, and voila! Our new wifey, a cute bee, hatched with gorgeous long hair. The system also congratulated Seo Jun, becoming the daddy of one more queen bee, adding one more wifey to his collection. As soon as the new queen bee opened her eyes, she noticed Seo Jun standing with the flower of the tomato plant, welcoming her with a warm smile. The thick mommy queen bee and the second queen bee were sitting on Seo-jun's shoulder, also welcoming their new sister-in-law. The new queen bee, after glaring at Seo-jun for a while, instantly recognized Seo-jun as her daddy. As she noticed the cherry tomato flowers, she got mesmerized, feeling extremely happy. But before she could do anything more, the thick mommy and second queen bee grabbed her and started flying high to teach her the moves, manners, and duties of a queen bee. Meanwhile, Seo-jun was just chilling, lying in a chair made of onion leaves. It was really a peaceful day for Seo-jun. And as he was about to fall asleep, something sticky and black like licorice came and got stuck onto Seo-jun's face. This startled Seo-jun, and he woke up bewildered and confused. In front of him was Kyung, shaking his hand, calling Seo-jun with an excited voice. As Seo-jun looked toward Kyung, he noticed Kyung was also covered in black ink and was holding a squid. With an excited face, Kyung said he caught something he had never seen before. He found this in the pond. Was that just any normal black sticky liquid? We will find that out in the next episode. Thanks for watching. And also spam pink heart in the comment if you watch till here. Goodbye.